Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we're not in the lit shop because we are going to a little car meet. And I hope we don't make it too late because tomorrow morning we're picking up the SR20 from a friend of mine because his motor is done and I'm gonna take it out. And I hope we don't make it too late, so let's go to the car meet.
I'm not in the mood, but you'll be here soon.
I think we arrived at the meet, but it doesn't really look like there are any Oh, hey, there it is. That's not a parking spot. Oh, we're going down. Look at those beauties. Aren't they pretty? A little bit. God damn it! Doesn't work. I tried to be annoying. It's like his car never works. Why doesn't it work?
Because it's annoying.
Did you unplug it?
No, I actually didn't knew it didn't work. So
Everything feels wrong.
What's the retail of one of those?
It's green, idiots!
Broken-hearted over something that never was. Never was, never was. Ooh, I thought it'd be me and you. Ooh, I guess it wasn't true. If I only knew what you put me through, I don't deserve this. I thought it'd be me and you. Hard to be your friend when you act this way.
I'm never gonna get used to that. Damn, that's cool. Ah, but we're almost at the meet and we're having a good.
We're having a good time!
We're almost at the meet and we're having a good time. So we arrived at the meet and the meet is over there and Max thought that his car isn't worthy. So he parked it behind the sign. And he needs new tires again. Damn, dude, they were brand new. He really needs new ones. Oh, it's warm. It's very warm.
Where to, sir?
To the strip club!
Let's go!
It's the next morning and I forgot to film any outro for the meet last night. But we had a great time. It got kinda late but not too late. So it's bright and early, it's Saturday. And I'm about to pick up the car with my dad. And I'll see you guys when we get back with the car and start taking out the engine. You'll be a good boy when I'm gone, right? We made it back home safe. The car is still safe on the trailer, so now I need to get it off myself because I'm alone. Because I asked the guys if they could help me today and, well, nobody had time. So I'm gonna be alone even with taking out the engine. Maybe somebody can come help later in the day, but for now I need to take off the car and need to get it on the lift inside, where the Golf is still standing on its stand, so we need to get that down. So I'm gonna hurry so we can get this done today. And well, I think it's time for a time lapse. Alright, the car is in and it's actually quite a sad story because this car is of a friend of mine. And his engine was broken. His pistons look like the surface of the moon because he was knocking and he didn't know. So the engine was done. It was really done. It got rebuilt by another person and then I put it back together. I put it in, painted the valve cover, all that stuff. Just make it look nice and work again. And well, he drove like a month. And then he had a lot of smoke out of the exhaust and I smelled the coolant and it smelled like gas. So I'm afraid his head gasket is out and there may be more damage, but we don't know, and that's why it's here, because of course he wants to drive his car too. And it has been sitting for a few months because I didn't have the time and he wanted me to do it because I put it back together a few months ago. So yeah, that's why it's here. So the game plan is disassemble everything around the engine. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the gearbox, if I'm gonna take it out on the lift and then take the engine out, take it out with the engine, or do the same thing I did the last time, leave the transmission in there, just take the engine out and support it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Now we're gonna take off all the bits around the engine so it's free, it's not connected to the car anymore. And then when it's out, I'm gonna open it when I have the time. And we'll see what the damage is, if it's just the head gasket or more things are broken, and I hope it's just the head gasket. But we think, at least I think, and the engine builder think, and that's not just to cover our own ass, we think that the fuel pump is never been replaced with a high flow one, and the old owner said he did. But I think it's the original Nissan fuel pump and it's almost 30 years old. It's more than 30 years old. And that caused the fuel pressure to be too low and he didn't notice it while he was driving. So the car was running lean, was knocking as hell. He didn't know and now it's broken. It overheated, you know the deal. So I need to investigate that before the car goes back. I need to take out the fuel pump, but first we're gonna start with the engine. And of course I'm alone, so I'm gonna hit you guys with a nice time lapse and some updates in between. Let's go. Alright, so there is a little change of plans because I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but Anthony mentioned it. Why don't we just take the head off? Because I think it's the head gasket, and then why would we take out the whole engine if we can just take the head off in the engine? So that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna see if there is any damage, and if the pistons are damaged, we're gonna take out the engine anyway, but we're gonna start with the head because it's less work. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Well, that's what I'm gonna do because he's just gonna film me do nothing. Like always. We are halfway done taking the head off, but because taking off the manifolds on an SR takes longer than taking the whole engine out of the car, I'm gonna finish it tomorrow and I'm gonna call it for today, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's the next day and I think this video is getting kinda long, so let's take the head off, let's get started and let's hurry up. So I was about to take out the camshaft and it's starting to look more and more like a broken head gasket. Because I can see some sludge on the bolts from the camshafts, and while the rest of the engine looks fine, it looks clean, but when I took off the water necks, there was not a lot of water coming out of there. So I think the head gasket is broken and it was using coolant, and that led to compression loss and a little bit of sludge in the head and the coolant smelling like gas. So yeah, I'm gonna take out the camshafts, I'm gonna take off the head, and then we will see what the damage is, and I hope it's not a lot. I hope it's fixable because he wants to drive his car and I want his car out of here so I can finish my car. Alright, after a lot of swearing and a lot of hate to the SR20, it's a great engine, but not to work on. It's finally time to take the head off. This already had ARP head studs, so that's a nice thing because it's just nuts to take off, and then you take the head off and you can reuse it. And it's stronger, so yeah. We did that the last time. Now it's just time to take it off and see the damage. Alright, we got some good news and of course we got some bad news because the head is off and that's never good. But we got some good news. The pistons seem fine. And that's really good news because we thought it was knocking as hell and destroyed the pistons all over again because these are new OEM pistons. But I think my suspicion was right. And it looked like the engine was knocking really bad on cylinder 1 and 3, and that connected the coolant channel to the combustion chamber. So that's why the coolant was smelling like gas and it was smoking as hell because there was coolant in the combustion chamber, and that led to something I have never seen before. Look at these exhaust ports, just black like always. That's actually good. And then we got this one. What the hell happened here? That's really bad. I don't know what it is. Looks like coolant that just dried up in there. But I don't know, man. And also, if you look at the underside of the head, you can see it was knocking right there. And that's the coolant channel. So I was right. It was knocking because it was running too lean. And that destroyed the head gasket, and that made the car burn the coolant, and that causes the smoke out of the exhaust. So it's actually just a new head gasket and a new fuel pump so that it doesn't run too lean anymore. And maybe retune it just to be sure, but this wasn't the tuner's fault, it wasn't my fault, it wasn't the engine builder's fault, it was just a broken fuel pump. So we're gonna replace that, we're gonna replace the head gasket, and we're gonna clean everything up so the engine is good again. He can drive, I can finish my car, and we can actually drive. So on that bombshell, on that good news actually, I'm gonna finish today's video. It's been a long one, I guess, I don't know for sure. But thank you for watching, make sure to subscribe down below, drop a like, it helps me out, and I'll see you guys at the next one. I'm gonna finish it tomorrow and I'm gonna stop to...
I'm gonna stop.
Yeah. Anthony mentioned it, why just don't take...
What?
Take the head off.